To take a CT, we will start in EasyDent Eye with the patient chart open. From there, we simply click on the Acquisition tab, the second tab on the top of the screen, and select CT from the modality options on the left of the screen. The acquisition interface opens up and we can select our options. Starting with the gender options on the lower left portion of the screen, options include man, woman, and child. Note, if the child is 12 or under in the EasyDent Eye system, it will automatically select child as the default. To the right of gender options are density settings. Options include hard, standard, and soft. Next, focusing on our field of view panel, we select the size of our scan. Field of view sizes range from the largest field of view, 12 by 8.5, to the smallest size, 4 by 4 or endo size. The field of view is calculated by the diameter by the height. For example, the largest size field of view is 12 by 8.5, so that is 12 centimeters in diameter by 8.5 centimeters high. The 12 by 8.5 scan size will encompass full arch dentition. The auto panel option will produce an automatic pan stored in the patient's chart after you acquire a CBCT. This is for the 12 by 8.5 field of view size only. Other options for the 12 by 8.5 field of view sizes are TMJ. Under the vertical options, selecting either the right or left positions under the horizontal options. Also under the vertical options is the sinus selection, raising the field of view up higher to capture the full sinus. The 8x8 will allow you to capture the maxillary and mandibular section of either the right, center, or left side of the patient's dentition under the horizontal options. Moving to 8x5, this is appropriate for a quadrant. Under the vertical options, you would choose maxilla or mandible, and right, center, or left under the horizontal options. The endo mode, or the 4x4 size, is a 50 micron voxel size, ideal for endodontic purposes because the clinician can obtain the highest quality image in a high resolution voxel size. Select the tooth from the tooth chart on the screen. Once our field of view is selected, additional options include high resolution for best quality or the green setting for reduced radiation. As well as voxel sizes below this, options include standard for highest quality or application for a larger voxel size if needed. On the endo mode, the voxel size for standard and application are set to 0.05 voxel size for best quality. Also notice the message information area on the bottom left of the screen, always displaying the status or the next steps to take in the process. Next, click Confirm. The machine rotates to capture position and we can position our patient. In preparation, have the patient remove all metal objects from the neck up, including necklaces, eyeglasses, earrings, and any other metal objects. As our patient enters the machine, adjust the chin rest height by using the column up and column down buttons on the front of the panel. As the patient enters the machine, take care of the hands first, the feet second, and then the bite, in that order. Grasping the handrails with their palms facing up. Feet should be at shoulder width apart for stability. Ideally, we want the patient's spine as straight as possible and chest close to the device, so we'll have our patient take a step forward and notice the angle of the body. Next, have patient bite in the bite stick, ensuring they're biting in the grooves and secure in place. Push down on the bite stick to ensure the patient's chin is firmly on the chin rest. Next, we are going to line up the mid-sagittal light, which runs through two anatomical points between the eyes and the philtrum. Manually adjust the patient's head to conform to the line as necessary. Once we identify the mid-sagittal line position, we want to ensure the patient's upper arch is parallel with the floor. We want the occlusion as flat as possible for the CBCT. In this example, I am pushing the column up button to adjust the patient's head to position. Please note, the laser light that you will see displayed on the left side of the patient's face is strictly a reference point of the center of the field of view of the given scan size that you are acquiring. Once we have our mid-sagittal light adjusted, along with our patient's maxillary arch parallel to the floor, we can then adjust our temporal rod position on the right side of the machine to secure patient. Note, the green X has a new horizontal laser beam to proactively identify and ensure clearance for the patient's shoulders. If the beam is projecting onto the patient's shoulders, the operator will need to make patient adjustments to allow clearance for the bottom of the rotator. Once completed, we can hit the Ready Return button on the front panel of the unit and the machine will rotate to capture position. Have patient close their lips, tongue at rest, and eyes closed. Hold the button on your acquisition trigger switch, which will turn yellow when exposing. Note, it is extremely important that the patient stay as still as possible during image acquisition, as this will affect your image quality. Hold the button until the image acquisition is fully complete. Once completed, we can turn the temple rod support adjustments counterclockwise and release our patient. On our acquisition machine, the CT will automatically save for you, take us back to the patient's chart in Easy Dent Eye for review. Chin rest with normal bite stick. Special bite B or edentulous rest. Additionally, use a cotton roll to separate the bite. Note, this method may also be used if the clinical need requires the patient to be in centric occlusion, having the patient resting with the chin cup with the bite at rest.